Oh my God, Dallas, we're live.
Man, it's Wednesday night. That means it's Wednesday night.
Was there actually a week in between the last one of these that we did and today?
I think this must have been leap year, so we only had 3 days in a week.
It's like we just finished the last one a few hours ago.
I know.
And like we got back together again now. So,
we're back on.
We are. Look, it's Leighton Welding. What's happening, man? How you doing, Leighton Welding?
Yeah.
So what's new and exciting, Dallas? What's the good word?
I'm just working on some stuff for events at the Iowa track in the AHRA world. I got an event I'm doing called Shootout at Sundown.
Shootout at Sundown. It sounds like a Western movie.
That's what I'm shooting for. But it's heads up, best of 3, instant green, right?
Okay.
So I thought it would be kind of interesting.
I like that. Clock's on or off?
Clock's off.
Clock's off.
Yeah.
Instant green, clock's off.
Yeah, first to the strike.
There you go. All right. So J. Russell Finch, Chongo 68. I like that name. Man-made muscle, John Mounts, Big Mike's Hoopty Bun, Fubar the Axe. The buck stops at Fubar.
You know, Big Mike is one of the no-name 500 contenders.
Harry Australia, is he?
Yeah, he's in his Hoopty barn. Yeah, he's making it there.
Yeah.
He's almost there to 500.
Numbnuts, Hook, Line, and Fishing, Todd Denio, Marco Ciccarelli, Wayne Bezel, Fritz Caddy. Made muscle. What's going on, guys? Arman G. Hey, Tony, do you know anyone who has a 446 pack intake? Not offhand. I think you can still get them.
You can still buy them from Mopar, I think, right?
Just Edelbrock. It's just
I don't know if Edelbrock's making anything at the moment.
Well, I mean, they may have them on the shelf.
Oh, they could. They got bought out by Comp Cams.
I know. I know that the 340 manifolds aren't available. They haven't been available for a while, but I think the 440 and the 383 ones are. Muscle Tony, there's a nice 361 for sale here. I know. This is good. This is good. Thank you. I appreciate it. But no, I'm just going to work with the one that we got. It'll be fine.
So are you going to try that thing we talked about before, sputering?
No. I don't want to talk about it because.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. It's gonna burst the bubble for the video.
But I'm not gonna touch it for. I mean, I'm not even gonna look at it until like July. Because I have other things I got to get done.
July sounds like a good plan since the event's in September, the end of September. It gives you a little bit of time.
Yeah. Let's see. Paul Cavazola, look, how you doing, man? Looking forward to seeing the block repairman. Yeah, it'll be a little while because like I said, we've got other things, like many other things I have to get done first. So I shouldn't have even said anything about it except that it was there and it was topical. So I mentioned it, but it's down the line. I still have many other things I got to get done first. Edelbrock got out at the right time.
I don't know about that.
It's a little crazy. Things are a little crazy.
They are getting crazier by the day.
Yes, by the hour even. But that's okay. It's like there are certain people in my world that are always like, but what about this invasion? And what about that thing and the inflation and the shortages and the aliens and the shape-shifting reptilians? And I'm like, I make car videos about cars for car people doing car things. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, it don't matter to me. None of it matters to me. Haggard Hot Rods, what's happening, man? Mr. Will, what's going on, Mr. Will?
In his dying breed garage.
Yes, the dying breed. That doesn't sound very optimistic.
Well, it depends. If you're not the dying breed, that's probably pretty optimistic.
Dean Brown, guys, just received issue of Hot Rod today. Nice article on fuel altereds. I actually had a 4-page, I guess it was 19. 19. I think it was April 1997. I had 4 pages on Hot Rod with my fuel altered. It was the story was called "A Few Moments in Hell." If you ever come across that one.
Matt S is saying there's more talk of E15 Fuel again. They're making it available. I just hope they don't force it as the only fuel.
Nah, don't stress it. Is Vic out of light? And I don't think he's still alive.
No, when he died, Cammy was running it,
right?
And then I think the rest of the family wanted to sell it out or whatever, and she got her hand got forced, I believe.
Pacedote 666. Any advice on upgrading stock Mopar ignitions for a street engine? Pros, cons, thinking about MSD box, my LA360, thanks. I don't use MSD boxes on anything. I never have. I probably never will. But as far as upgrading the ignition, your best if everything's functioning correctly and you got a good coil, you've got all the voltage you'll ever need. You don't need the multi-spark is almost like a crutch. It's for something that is just so fat and hopelessly, lazy downstairs that you need to blast it, right?
In other words, it's a Band-Aid for non-tuners.
Exactly. It's a Band-Aid. I mean, they're good for rev limiter, they're good for retard, they're good for a lot of different things, but I don't consider the MSD as its own thing, or any capacitive discharge. I really consider it's very important. You can make ridiculous power with just a simple coil, simple distributor. Curving the stock distributor is going to give you your biggest bang for the buck.
Auto 1303 says supposedly E15 ethanol will only be available in 2% of stations nationwide. I'm almost to the point anymore. I don't care about any of that, right? Because I mean, anything made past like 2000 will pretty much handle it. Anything before that, you might have a hard time. But luckily here in Tennessee, we got the holdout gas stations that don't have any ethanol, right? You can go buy non-ethanol gas and not pull up in a boat.
Todd DeMio is saying to seal the cracks on that 361 block, add 2 cans of evaporated milk into the coolant, bring it up to operating temperature, and add more as needed over the next 20 minutes in the seal for use. So you're saying I need to make caramel. So if I fill the motor with caramel, it won't leak. Bear Rose Garage. I have 2 MSD boxes that I took off cars I scrapped. They sit on a shelf because I don't use them either. You know the funny thing is, if you go to any like one of hot rod muscle car consignment places, Gateway Motors or any of these, and you look under the hood of all these cars, they all have MSDs. All of them have MSDs. Doesn't matter what it is, they stick an MSD in it. Because it's the quick way to tune a really sloppy thing that just like at idle because it's just chugging gas. They throw an MSD in there and it cleans it up to make it drivable.
Jay Russell Finch is asking, any update on Jim Bennett's garage? Will it continue?
I doubt it. And I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something publicly that's bothering me. I'm gonna say something that's bothering me.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Jim passed away not this Saturday, the Saturday before, right? And we did that video 2 days later. I found out Monday night that it had happened, and we did that video Tuesday morning.
Okay.
I got a text from his partner that day asking me if I could take the video down for a couple of days, which made no sense to me, right? It made no sense to me. But what's bothering me now is that now it's like 10 days since Jim passed. And his partner, anybody from the shop, anybody associated with that, has not made a single statement or video or anything about Jim's passing.
Yeah.
And I think that's completely fucking
out of line. Yeah.
Why he sent me a text asking me to take the video down for a couple of days, I don't know. But like I said, I just, that's bothering me.
Well, so the rule of thumb, you remember when the MSDs were like the ticket, like, let's say late 80s, early 90s? It was like everything. Everybody was putting MSDs on all of them. You remember in NASCAR cars, they actually had 2 MSD boxes because they were so prone to failure that they would actually switch over in the middle of a race. I just think that's so ironic.
SOP, they're still grieving. No, nobody grieves that long. You make a statement. You just do a quick video. I mean, it takes 2 minutes. I did it. I managed to do it. How come they can't do it? Maybe they're worried people would go to Jim's shop and steal stuff. They would go to the shop and steal stuff whether he was dead or not. It's not like he slept there at night. Jonathan Couchy, thank you for the super chat. Cam suggestions for a very hot 360, 10.5-to-1 compression. I do not care about vacuum. It's manual. I was thinking something with a 560 lift, which is your outer limits as far as with the stock retainers, you know, the retainers hitting the valve guides without turning down the valve guides. 108, 245 at 50. That's a punchy, stout.
That sounds pretty healthy, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you don't care about running it on pump gas, I mean, that's probably fine.
Well, I mean, even 10.5-to-1. Yeah,
with that kind of lift, but
it depends on how much lead he's.
Well, yeah, but man, I'm telling you, when that thing really starts to work, that cam really starts to work, that compression goes up, right?
Yeah, well, it's all in theory though. The static compression is 10.5-to-1.
Right.
You know what I mean? Dynamic compression ratio varies.
Well, it'll be like probably at idle, maybe 9.5.
The equivalent of.
Right.
Oh, and no, not even with that cam. No, I'd say even less than that. Probably
you think 8.5? Really? But then it's going to get up to upwards of 11-to-1 or 11.5-to-1 as you put RPM in it.
Mr. Will, thank you for the super chat. You did a burnout video for Jim and his daughter, commented on it, thanking me for the video for her dad. That really got to me. Yeah, that was nice. His daughter commented on our video also. You know, like I said, I just, you know, I don't know what to tell you.
Life is the way life is, and that's life. Unfortunately.
Silverville, why do you think Chrysler went with the bigger bores in their big blocks than other manufacturers? Think 396 versus 383 bore and stroke. I know.
Well, it's been known for a long time that bigger bore, shorter stroke allows for better airflow, right? That's generally the characteristic because it doesn't shroud the valve as bad.
Yeah, well, he's talking about the 396 versus the 383. So the 396 is what, 4 1/8, same as the 361 with more stroke, and the 383 is 4 1/4. It's a small. So the 427 is a 4 1/4 bore, and so is the 426 Hemi. You know, so it's like you know, they're all in pairing. The biggest thing, the biggest obstacle to bore size is bore spacing. How much space do you have between? You know what I'm saying? The bores. You like on a small block Chevy, you can go to the 4 1/8, like the 400. But then you start getting into cooling system issues. You know, you have to have those steam holes, and you're not getting proper circulation. So I personally never had an issue with a 400 Chevy, but other people have. Ken Lepic, Tony, you should check out Thunderhead 289 on YouTube. I'm familiar. He likes to rag on me. He just put a lawnmower carb on an old Maverick. It's a 302, super interesting.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? What is interesting about it? The engine idles and operates at low speeds on a lawnmower carburetor. It's the same as if it had a really tiny 2-barrel. If you took the 1-barrel carburetor off, let's say a straight 6 Ford, you know, little 140 cubic inch straight 6s, right? And you stuck that on top of it. Yeah, it's going to idle fine, and it'll drive through a parking lot fine. But how functional is it out on the road? 50, 60 miles an hour, you want to pass something, or you have to go up a hill.
You probably can't pass it.
It's pointless. It's just.
Yeah, it's enough to maintain road speed.
Right, to maintain road speed, but that's about it. It's just like the vapor guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he can cruise along on level ground. You know what I mean? And maybe drafting a semi, right? And get by, but it's useless otherwise. It's crippled otherwise. It's just pointless. Let's see. He went 70 miles an hour. Okay.
Somebody's commenting on how well Mopar Al is doing on Slag Hammer.
Mopar Al is doing awesome on Slag Hammer, on his channel, in every aspect. The guy's really coming to his own. He's doing great.
Ronald Davidson says, what do you think the 361 could be bored to safely?
All of the Chrysler blocks are designed for a maximum 60 overbore.
So there's your answer. 60 over.
60 over. Kim fixes thing. Al is a class act. He certainly is. Shade Tree Vintage Auto. Why even build a 361?
Well, see, I knew this was going to come up.
Right?
Because nobody has.
No.
Why not build it?
First off, some people, that's what they have. So they want to build it. My purpose for building it was it's what I had. I had one laying around. And at the time that I did this, so here's and I explained it in the video. If you didn't see the video, I had a shop. This is 15 years ago. I had a shop here in Murphysboro, and I had, I don't know, 15 big blocks laying around. And the guy, Ken, wanted to go bracket race his car. So I says, and he already killed 2 motors on me, and I don't even want to talk about that, right? Just neglect. So this is number 3. This is like the number 3 neglect problem. But anyway, make a long story short, I says, well, I have one of everything here, right? I says, just goofing around. Since he's going to bracket race this car, so it'll be consistent, and we know what the car's going to run every time. Let's put a 361 in it, and then let him run that for like the year. We'll see what it goes, and then we'll take that out and substitute a 3D3 and put the same heads, the same cam, the same intake on it, and then send it and see what the difference is there. And then once we establish what that runs, let's take a 400 and take the same cam, heads, intake, all that, and put on a 400. So that was my idea behind that. That's why that 361 ended up in that car, because I figured, well, it's a cool way to experiment without me having to go to the track, without spending money on dyno time or anything like that. Just send it. So that was the reason why that particular engine ended up in that particular car.
Hook, Line, and Fishing says 455 Old's bore size is 4.3125 and stroke is 4.25. Torque monster. I don't think those numbers add up, buddy, because the Buick 455 is 4.3125 bore and the stroke is 3.9 and it's 455 cubic inches. I think maybe you got something's out of whack there.
Bore times stroke times 6.2832. Figure that one out. Here, I'll do that. Hey, you answer questions and I'll figure out what the size is.
Fab Race Mod Repeat, which is Chris Cox from Northeast Dragway, says, I still want to see somebody build a 350 big block Chrysler. Is there such a thing?
What is it?
350 big block Chrysler? Was there a smaller?
Yes, 350, 1950, no, 1958, 1 year only.
Okay, so it was a B motor then, like a 383?
No. Oh, yes, it was a B motor. And then they had an RB 383 for that same 1 year.
Huh.
What was that now?
4.3125.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Junkyard Jet guys are here. Times 4.
Jetting away.
yeah. Breaking stuff.
Shocking Austin, right?
Yeah.
Did you see the shirt yet?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I haven't seen it. It's only been a week. How do you guys already get a shirt out?
No. She just finished your artwork. Times
Is it? Does it have your picture on there?
4.25 times 6.2832 equals that's 496 inches. So yeah, something's wrong there.
Matthew, what does it say? Garacitano. Do you like Aussie cars? I do.
More experienced.
I think they're pretty cool. I really like that. What did they have? It was a Valiant. It had like a inline 6 supposedly Hemi. It wasn't a slant motor, but it was an inline. And we get questions about it all the time. That 245 Hemi, right? And it's like
we never got them here.
It sounds cool. I never really touched one, but I wish we would have had them here.
They never. See, that's the thing. We had no exposure at all to Australian market cars, like zero. Nothing that even resembled what you guys. Now I'm talking about back in the day. I know later on in the 90s, General Motors was doing stuff, but as far as the Mopars go, we had nothing. South America too. You know what I mean? It's just right down the road over here. And like South America had a whole bunch of cars, models, and combinations that we never got here in the States. So we had no exposure to them at all. Let's
Oh,
see.
so Hook, Line, and Fishing says, yeah, it was 4.126 mower.
Oh. Toll Garage, Dallas. I found that guy here on YouTube. Thank you, Toll Garage. That says he specializes in welding cast iron. Better get them heads cut up, man. Make some magic happen.
I got so many people want me to put those 350 Buick heads on that 300 block. I figured out it fits.
If they're into it, man, do it.
Yeah, well, I think I have a plan for this, but yeah, there's a lot of people like, why don't you just stick with the 350? Because it's not a 350 head on a 300 block. That's why, right? I like the 300 better. It's got a smaller main. That's what I actually talked about in the video, was it has a smaller main. Smaller main is actually better for that motor.
It's funny here. I gotta answer this. Ray Brent's like, spoiler alert, Turnio, you're going to braze that crack block. I have never, ever in my life brazed anything. I have no idea how to even go about it. Now, that's not to say oxyacetylene welding, I only just recently, let's say over the last 10 years, started electronic welding. Because previous to that, all I had ever used was oxyacetylene. But it became so difficult and so expensive to keep and troublesome to keep the tanks filled that I switched over to electronic. What the hell is that? Exit. I don't know what that was. Exit on so you're sure? Yes. Okay. We just got a big flash up on the screen here. So I have never in my life brazed anything. Gas welded everything you can imagine. I've gas welded cast iron. I've gas welded aluminum. I gas welded a fuel funny car chassis together that got a fucking 10-1B certification from the NHRA. So I'm a gas welding fool, but I've never brazed anything ever, and because I never really saw a reason for it.
Oh. Hey, Tony in Dallas, just checking in. So this is Levi's Backyard Performance. He's
okay, Levi, what's going on, brother?
He's part of the No Name 500 contender, right?
Right.
And he's got that ramp truck he's building with the Laguna S3.
Right.
He says, I'm just checking in and asking for subs. We're going to have some videos of LS engines this month. Thanks all 284 of his 500 subs he needs.
Well, there you go. Everybody, you see that the No Name 500 is definitely Mopar heavy.
It is,
yes. It's Mopar heavy. So Levi is providing the counterbalance with some LS stuff, and I think that's awesome.
And some GM to the front kind of stuff, right?
Sid Ryder, cast iron welding results are probably rarely satisfactory. No, you're wrong. Okay, here's the thing, right? If you're gas welding a stress crack, like a freeze crack on something like that block, it is a pain in the ass because heat. What happened is you'll weld it, and if you don't preheat the area around it enough, what'll happen is it'll just crack more as it's cooling. So with that, what you have to do is you have to heat it with the torch. You have to heat the whole area around it with a torch, and it takes forever because the block is like a giant heat sink, and it's always pulling the heat away from the area you're working on. But if you're going to weld it, if you're going to weld something like that, you got to heat an area like that to where it's like hot. Then you can gas weld it, and it has to sit and cool gradually, right? What I'll do is I would let it get halfway cool, and I whip out the torch and start heating the whole area again and bring it almost as hot as it was.
I wonder if you could actually just throw a heat gun on there and maintain the heat.
Not
enough.
Heat. No. But right now, welding, let's say broken off ears and stuff like that. Let's say you break a chunk off like the flange or on a block or anything like that. Or let's say you've got a window in the block, there's a hole you're trying to patch. You do that with gas welding, no problem. Never an issue. Works great.
Well, John S. has a question here that I'm pretty certain I know the answer to. What would cause a high-pitch RPM-related tapping noise? It's very faint. Sounds like two sockets tapping together against each other. We're 95 318 with 165,000 miles. I'm assuming that might be detonation.
High-pitch RPM-related tapping noise.
Yeah.
It's very faint. Sounds like two sockets tapping against each other. That's you, my friend, have a cracked piston skirt.
You think so?
Yes. I know that noise. You have a broken piston skirt, and it's just the piston is just
wobbling in there.
Yeah.
Huh. Hook, Line, and Fishing says it's called stitching cast iron.
backstepping the world is a good idea. Well, you know what? You crack enough of them because I've done that. You know what I mean? You weld something up and go, oh, it's a masterpiece. And you turn around like to go light a cigarette and you're, you know, and it's like, ah. So, after you do that a couple of times, then you realize, no, wait, this thing has to be brought back gradually.
Well, if you look though, your block, it's in the perfect spot. If it's going to crack, it's in a great spot.
Yeah.
Because it goes between two of the expansion plugs,
Which
right?
are radiuses.
Right, which stops the crack right there, right? So the chances of it working are probably considerably higher.
Los Cadaver, you've never gas welded, always stick. I love gas welding. I mean, honestly, it's like, it's one of the few things that I really enjoy. You know what I mean? Like where it's like I zen in on it and just go. And I've showed you some of the stuff with gas welding, right?
Yeah.
But it became a pain in the ass. When I was doing it, as like a normal thing, I could get, like back in New York, I could get acetylene at any one of like 10 places within a 5-mile radius of my house, and filling a bottle was like, $18, $20. Now it's hit and miss to find it. It's crazy expensive, and it just became too much of a pain in the ass. And that's when I switched over to that flux core. Mr. Will, thank you again for the super chat. Please, a shout out. Wild Rose and you. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Here's the shout out. Wild Rose and Mr. Will are doing a live on his channel tomorrow night at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. Craziest drag race and hot rod stories, plus a lot of laughs. A lot of laughs. We don't have enough laughs on this channel.
No, we should bring more laughs.
They're having
We
laughs.
should have what is it? The laugh machine?
We need a laugh track, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we need a laugh track. Raining slant 6 with a chance of cannonballs. Where did you get that meme from? Dallas and Tony, funny thing with those right-hand drive Mopar A-bodies, they used a different slant 6 oil pump casing without oil filter base, and one hardline went around the block. Oh, really? Remote filter mount. Interesting.
It's probably for the steering box.
Yeah, they can't get it in there.
Is the oil filter on the passenger side?
Yeah, I can't imagine working with a right-hand drive slant 6. How they would have to pack everything in there.
It was definitely designed for the American market.
Yeah. All right, and Fubar just put up the link to Mr. Will's Dying Breed Garage. So they've got their live tomorrow night.
What is Jason Couchy saying? Super chat up above. Did we miss one?
No, we got it, bro. We got it. Thank you. UT, how many Red Bulls is Mopar Al drinking per day? The guy has wings. He is a hard worker. He is just, man, I'm telling you, I've known him for a few years, but I never worked with him, worked around him or anything like that. He is a go-getter. This guy does not let off. I mean, he's tenacious, and he's got arthritis. He's got all kinds of things. And he's like, fuck that, and he just dives in and go. The other day, I left here for an hour or two to do something, whatever it was, and I come back. He's already got the transmission mount already fabricated, the cross member and all of that. And the guy's just amazing.
Rude Rope dude saying we missed the super chat.
Kathy sent him a super chat. All right, I'm going back. Oh, Jonathan Couchy. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, John. My neighbor has an International Scout with a built 396 big block Chevy that was wrecked in the 90s. Says it ran in the high 10s. Engine out of Impala, so a dump truck hit it.
Go buy it.
A 396.
I don't think, not in a Scout would it run 10s.
No, it didn't run 10. Maybe in an 1/8 mile. But I doubt it was doing it in a quarter.
Spider-Man's asking, are you taking Plan Z to the track soon? It should be open up by now, Buffalo Valley.
They are. I just haven't gotten to the truck, the trailer, or anything.
It's everything but the car.
I have to find somebody to take these freaking cars and take them to the goddamn track.
Let's see. Patricio 2 says, When was the last production slant made?
1987. Mike Batista 386 and a Vega will run 10s. With the right suspension, yeah. Shade Tree Vintage Auto, thank you for the super chat. If anyone is looking for a fairly inexpensive project for the No Name Nationals, I have 10 listed on my most recent video, including a 73 car in it.
Oh,
Well, there you go. You're looking for a cheap project car? Shade Tree Vintage Auto. Hit him up.
Maybe he's got a Opel Kadett in my price range.
Well, pardon. Thank you so much. Channel support for the best people on any planet, anywhere. Are you sure about that? Because, bro, it's a very expansive universe. I mean, God only knows the quality of people that are out there someplace. But thank you, man. I appreciate it. Let's see.
Okay. Slant 6 truck. Want? They made a zillion of them.
Yeah. Replacement slants were built into the late 90s, quite possibly. Well, they had a lot of industrial use, water pumps and
Forklifts.
Forklift. Yeah, they had a lot of use besides just cars.
The Slant 6 is returning later this year with twin turbos for new Mopar cars. I doubt it's a slant.
Yeah, it's not a slant. An inline 6, but it's not a slant. Otto, is this 61 Caddy going to the Williams? No, they're taking their car, the Jet. Bobby Severa, slant 6 suck bad. Oh, I got to get rid of them.
You got to trash them. This guy that you can't even pronounce his last name says they suck.
It's Severa. I didn't realize they suck. I got to get rid of all of these freaking slants now. And I put up all those Slant 6 videos on this channel. I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I did that.
How dare you?
I knew somebody would eventually set me straight. Thank you, Bobby Severa.
Let's see. Aren't those front-wheel drive cars sort of slanty? Chuck Ital asks. I don't think so.
Big Belly Racing, what would you recommend to use to hone the cylinders on a Rotax for a Sea-Doo? I don't know.
Go to Napa and just get Finestone home.
I don't know. Probably. I guess you'd use stainless rings on that, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
I just get a Finestone hone and cut it as fine as I could. And try to shoot for a 45-degree crosshatch.
Someone needs a green card.
Joe Case says, speaking of inlines, oh, that ran through real fast. Steve Magg's video on the inline or the Buick Inline 8, cool stuff. Have you ever taken one of them apart?
No, I've never taken one apart.
I kind of always wanted to get one because they're 320 cubic inch inline.
I think that's beautiful.
I don't know.
The Packard
really
has a straight 8, but yeah.
They're really long. They got a cool looking valve cover that's stamped that says like Fireball Inline 8 or something like that.
And they had 2 1-barrel carburetors on them too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they had over the 2 barrels.
I have no idea. I know that they ran good, and a lot of guys in Bonneville really they stuck with that motor.
They still do. But for a while the Buick 8s had multiple carburation. They had like one for the first 4 cylinders and one for the back 4 cylinders on like a common log intake manifold.
Huh. Bill McKystra wants to see us. He wants to see you and I do a friendly engine build competition. I think I'd get blown away going up against the old pro here.
I'm not really an old pro. I just play one on YouTube.
I don't know if that could happen. How about you, Tony? How about we do something like smaller?
I mean, I'm down. It's all content to me, man. I'm good. Whatever you want to do.
I don't know. I don't have anything ready to go, and parts being delayed makes everything suck.
What's on the Tony for a wet 50 horsepower nitrous system on a stock 1-barrel slant? Where do I install the nozzle? I saw Google that. Google images, nitrous slant 6, and you'll see that there's somebody who did that. Man, they mounted the solenoid and the nozzle at the end of the intake manifold. So it's like directly under the carburetor, and they drilled in from the outside. And you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it on like a 73 or newer intake manifold because it has the EGR plate on it. But if you get an earlier one, right there underneath the carburetor from the side is where you'd want to put your nozzle.
Let's see. Ari says that isn't a tall garage building an insane Ford 300 6-cylinder? I think is he the one he's doing the LS headed 300?
Yeah, I believe so.
Cut up the LS head. Let's see, Matthew. Whoa.
Thank you, Matt. I'm coming to Tennessee in May from Australia. I'm looking to buy something old and strong and drive the Route 66 with plenty of stopovers along the way. Could rent a bay at the front of your shop to do some repairs.
That could be worth a video right there, Tony.
Yeah.
Getting this guy prepped for freaking Route 66. But man, Tennessee's a long way from Route 66.
Way from Route 66. Why would you even you want to start up there in Chicago?
Or you're missing a lot not going from Chicago down, but it does get more interesting as you get into like Kansas West.
So for the record, man, we don't rent space here ever, and we don't charge for any type of work ever, right? So if what you're doing would make for good content, then yeah, we could definitely talk about it. But we don't do rentals. We don't do commercial rentals. We don't do any type of commercial repairs. Nothing like that. No money ever changes hands here at the shop.
He should show up and just buy a car here in Tennessee and then like drive it here sight unseen. Hey, we're going to take this down Route 66 and then see what it would take to get it together. Get the jet guys on it.
The jet guys got their own
project. Why is Captain Dew saying the same thing over and over again?
Captain Dew, you all seen Thunderhead 289? I've heard about it, but
we literally just answered this.
Yeah, we talked about it. I think it's kind of pointless, but if whatever floats your boat. I mean, if like, how would you even doubt that it would run the engine? That's what I'm saying. Like, it runs a lawnmower, yes. It passes gasoline and air through an orifice. Why wouldn't it run a V8? But how well does it run the V8? See what I'm saying? That's the question. Metalheads, aquatic mayhem. It pays for a lot of bubbles. Thank you. I finally caught live. Well, thank you for this.
Bunch of head-banging fish, right?
Thank you, Metalheads.
Actually, it kind of reminds me of, like, you remember the Muppets band? Wasn't it called something? Mayhem? It was like Dr. Teeth and the Mayhem something.
Not offhand.
Records one says we all need to use 10 CFM carbs from now on.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
There you go. There's Mopar Al's shirt. I'm on my second wind. Oh man.
He's a machine. He's a freaking machine. Mr. Mopar Al is in the house. I didn't see him. Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
Electric Mayhem. Not to acquire.
Thunderhead 29 should put the carburetor from the Maverick on his lawnmower. There you go. Let's see a lawnmower run off a 650 Holly. That would be cool.
Years ago, in like 2001, I bought a push mower from a pawn shop. That's the only thing I can afford, right? And I push mowed with it, and this sucker used to leak oil out the bottom like mad. And I mean like mad. You'd put one cord in it and just mow for about a half an hour, and you put another cord in it, right? And when I got orders from Mississippi to Hawaii. I was going to take the mower to the junkyard. Nobody wanted something that was leaking oil that bad. I took the nitrous system off my T-Bird and I fed all of it to that lawnmower.
How'd it run?
Oh, they're snappy, right? But it revs so high that it actually just locked the motor up because that governor couldn't kick in fast enough.
At some point, when Kathy's on, because she remembers more details on it, I will tell you about the Nitro Lawn Boy.
Lawn Boy?
I had a Lawn Boy. I ran
the green ones?
Yeah. Yeah, a push lawn mower.
2-stroke.
Yeah, I vaporized a fig tree with it. It
That's
vaporized a fig tree.
Did it vaporize the two-stroke motor?
It used to set off car alarms.
Sweet.
My lawnmower, it was a push mower. Wait, hang on. We had a super chat back here. Did we have a super chat? No. But I did see Mopar Al pop on the house. Mopar Al, what's happening, brother man? I saw Unity. What's going on, Andy?
Well, no, that was your
These guys
super
are great.
chat.
Oh, wait, which was it? I'm sorry. Okay. Benjamin Penley, thank you, man. What limits the 383 440 is what limits the 383 440? Is it the heads? I see big power street Chevy engines, but all Mopars seem to stop in the mid fives. I guess eighth mile time. Or horsepower, mid 500 horsepower. Is it cultural differences in demographics, and when are we getting a meet and greet? I don't know about a meet and greet. Yeah,
We did a meet and greet last March.
Yeah,
when you opened the shop.
Think of the No Name Nationals as a meet and greet, because that's what exactly it is. It's a meet and greet. Okay. Benjamin, think of, and I'm not exaggerating, it's like the tiniest bit, okay? Think of a big block Mopar as an oversized small block Chevy, okay? Because that is exactly what it is. The cylinder heads, if you took a small block Chevy head, right? And I'm talking about combustion chambers and ports and everything else. You took a small block Chevy head, you put a big block Mopar Chevy head next to each other. They're the same freaking thing, just oversized. And of course, the Mopar has shaft rockers, and the Chevy has individuals. So you can't compare, a very primitive inline wedge cylinder head with the canted valve. The big block Chevy evolved afterwards, so it has a better cylinder head all around than the inline wedge. But I mean, that's it. The limits you have with a big block Mopar are the same limits you have with a small block Chevy. They're the same engine.
Yeah, but he's obviously not talking about a Hemi, because it's completely different.
Yeah, well, he didn't.
You got another one too.
Bill, thank you. Small blocks would be cool too. Maybe do it for charity. Oh, I mean, for us to build
off. I don't know. Maybe that's something we could do for No Name Nationals.
I have so much to do from No Name Nationals right
now. I know.
Now.
I'm kind of the same way, where it's like, how many cars do I need to take, and how much stuff do I need to bring up there?
Well, I got Al, and I got the Junkyard Jet guys and in my own car, so I can't.
Did we get another one, or did just one of them?
I think there was just one
die off there. Okay. Yes, the ankle remover is the lawnmower on Nitro, right?
Yeah, I had to build an aluminum shield. It would shoot rocks out like bullets. If you left it sitting in one place for any amount of time, it would actually just create like a. I'll tell the story sometime.
Oh, somebody says, Inspector Business says, I bet your confidence grew when Andy showed the dyno numbers. What were the dyno numbers? I didn't see. Did they run that thing yet?
As I told Andy, right? We just told. Oh wait, hang on. Stagger Proof, thank you for the super chat, my brother. The Lawnmower Crop 302 video shows the car doing all the stuff you were saying it won't. I love your tone, but you need to watch the video to find the voodoo the kid is using, because it looks real legit. What voodoo? The car, all right, so the car makes it to 60 or 70 miles an hour. It's a steady cruise. Okay, picture this now, right? Picture this. You have perfect example. And here's a perfect example of this. We just brought this 446-pack satellite back to the shop today, right? So Al drove it back, and when he got back here, I said, let me see what this thing feels like. So I hit the gas, and it burns rubber. I mean, just instantly, like there's zero traction. Just you hit the gas, and just right, and it leaves stripes for all the way through first gear. For as long as you keep your foot in it, it's leaving a stripe. But it makes zero power beyond that. So it has good bottom end power, right? The reason for that is because it's not open in the secondaries. So at 375 or 350 CFM on that center 2-barrel carburetor
on a 440,
it has gobs of bottom end power, but it has absolutely zero. I mean, you'd walk this thing with a stock slant 6. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, what's the trade-off? What exactly is the point?
All you're saying was it won't do things that the car is meant to do.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
You can't pass people on a hill. You can't. It doesn't make enough power to do that. Right. It won't accelerate hard at all.
Yeah, let's see it run into a headwind going uphill, like something that you don't even notice as you're driving your regular car. You know what I'm saying? Here's a perfect example. I have a Super Cub, right? I love this thing, little 125cc, Super Cub, right? And it's awesome. The thing just drives down the road perfect until you have to go up a hill. Yeah, until you have to go over 60 miles an hour. And because you'll be ripping along as fast as you can go, and then you come across a grade. You're doing 58, 60 miles an hour, and you come to a grade. Next thing you know, you're doing 35, and you're downshifting just to keep the thing running. It's the same thing. It's just an underpowered deal.
So today's 413 day. Did you know that?
Is it?
Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention, but somebody put it on here saying it's 413 day. Yes, carb CFM is relative to RPM and horsepower. 100%. So, to maintain a car going down the road, you're not using 400 plus horsepower. You're using like 30 horsepower to maintain it going down the road. So one of those,
it takes 12 horsepower.
12 horsepower
to push a standard car at 50 miles an hour.
Okay, there you go. So if you look at
on level ground with no headwinds or anything like that.
Right. Well, and if you look at just going down the road, it'll do just fine just going down the road. It's just like anything else.
Did I say 12? It was 16.
Okay. But it's a relatively
and that's
low
an
number.
average. That's an average.
Mopar Man's 1978. Tony Dallas, you see my comment further up. Let's see.
I didn't.
I'm done looking for it. All right. So no. Type it again.
Yeah, hit it again.
Let's see. Doug Narden says, I wonder if Alan Milliard could make a flat 8 or 10 cylinder out of a few Valkyrie engines. That would be awesome. Did you see what apparently Andy's engine ran probably this weekend while I was on the road? Did you see what kind of numbers it made?
Andy, yeah, he made a video, or he's making a video. He's making a lot of power. He's making a lot of power, but it's not enough for him. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, I'm gonna top Thunderhead 289.
How's that?
I'm gonna run a car with no carburetor at all. I'm gonna run a car off the windshield washer reservoir.
Oh, just squirting that fuel in it?
Yeah. I'm going to take a plate, bolt it over the carburetor, right? A little air hole, and I'm going to squirt from the washer bottle and run the car like that.
What kind of mileage you think it gets?
Because there's no question it'll run.
Okay, Mike in 23451. What advice do you have for someone about to install Edelbrock heads and cam kit, a pre-1986 flat tap at small block Chevy 350? It will be the first time I've ever done something this major. Any tips, traps to avoid? He's put heads in a cam kit. Yes, make sure you break the cam in properly. So you want to have a carburetor that you know that works. You want an ignition system that you know that works. It's not something that's just you found it was disassembled in the back of a car and you're going to drop it in here, perfect thing for your project. You want all the stuff that you know that works. And then when you start it up and hit the key, it actually runs. And then who cares about the tune? Who really cares about the timing? Just go in there and freaking break it in, 2,000 RPM. And then after 20 minutes, shut it off, drain the oil, change the oil, whatever you're going to do. But yeah. Hold on. Kathy's saying something.
I know, I saw that.
Okay. Well, we have to go back.
I'm going to get to Benjamin Penley in a second. But first, I want to answer Brian Rose. Tony, are you recording videos on what you're doing at Battle Rock Tony after the race? I'm guessing that you are going to sacrifice an engine because 4K will buy a nice replacement. Okay, I'm joking around, making a big thing about secrecy about Battle Rocket. There is no secrecy. All I'm doing with this motor is I'm swapping out the short block for I've got a 30 over fresh short block. I'm from sort of forged pistons in it with a steel crank. That's all I'm doing to the bottom end of this thing. That's it. The heads I'm going from the stock 318 valves to 360 size valves. That's it. Those are the only changes I'm making to the engine or to the combination. And the transmission, I'm slick shifting the transmission because there's a major issue getting that overdrive trans into second gear. So because you've got to spin, Okay. The mix match in speed between the mix match in speed between the gears makes it extremely difficult to shift. So I'm slick shifting that. There's no real secrets. There's no real voodoo or anything like
Well, it's
that.
just wide ratio, right? Super wide ratio
Right.
on that sucker. It's like a 3. It would be like a, well, for instance, my Ford truck with the granny low.
Mhm.
That's the big difference between like the granny low trainings. From going from first to second was almost impossible because the gear step was so.
Yeah, you gotta like triple clutch it. Get it in there. So yeah, there is no real secrecy. The truth is I'm just too busy with other cars. You know what I mean? Like right now, Sledgehammer is taking up all my mental time and all my physical time to get that thing just so that Al can get it on a power tour. And we've got other things. We have to make content, but I can't keep focusing on one car. So there's no big secrecy, there's no big mysteries or anything like that. It's just getting a good set of pistons, a steel crank, and I'm increasing the size of the valves in the head. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
All right, so we gotta find what Kathy was saying there. She said some
Okay.
big storm is on its way. Blah blah blah.
Right, we have a super chat. Why did Benjamin? Thank you, Ben. Why did the aftermarket never try? Just impossible to justify changing literally everything about the top end. Just get a Hemi instead. I think I read about an attempt at pro stock back in the day. Why did they have to?
Oh, big
why
block
did they have to,
Dodge.
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
because it wasn't really necessary.
Tornado warning.
Tornado warning. Okay,
Take shelter now in a basement or an interior room. I'm gonna go. So I got kids at home.
Go, Mayor, go.
Yeah, I will do.
Power outages and structural damage. This has been your friendly. Okay, so okay, so Kat, get the puppies into the office so that you got that room there. We're cool here, you know. We're cool here. I'll put on a crash helmet. We'll be fine. Okay. Silver Bell. I think you all are misunderstanding Thunder 289. He never said it was viable or should be done. He fully admitted it was really stupid. And okay. Well, that's completely different. That's completely different. If it's just an experiment, something he's doing just for shits and giggles, then I fully respect, commend, and everything. That's fine. I get that. If the idea was to try to innovate, come up with this magic solution, well, that's ridiculous. But if he's just doing it for fun, okay, just experiment, just for shits and giggles. Hey, I have this lawnmower carburetor. I got this small block Ford. Let's see what happens. That's fine. That's completely different. I should get my helmet and wear it for the rest of the life. I'm okay, guys. I'm just going to turn on my. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to turn on my phone, just so that I got. Let's see. All right, I can't find it. I'm gonna call Kathy, just to find out exactly what's going on, because it sounds a little hairy out there right now. So just hang on 1 second. I hate to come off as a pussy, but it's like you got to see some of the storms we get around here. Okay. Hey, what's going on? There's a tornado on the ground in Franklin? Oh. Okay. And which direction is it going? It's coming our way? All right, let me tell the guys. Okay, there's a tornado in Franklin on the ground heading this way.
Yeah, we just got the warning. We got a live stream up on the TV in here.
Okay, and what are you seeing?
We're in the box.
We're in the kill zone. Best place to be is in one of the cars. the best place to be is in one of the cars.
In here.
Yeah. Just get in a car. In the shop, not outside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Interior room. Well, is it coming up 96? All right. Okay, the guy approaching 65. All right, the guys have it on live in. Inside. Yeah. Okay. All right. They got a live forecast on here. If it comes down the road here, we'll take cover. Okay. Bye. I don't need a ditch. We got cars in the shop. We'll just go get in the cars. The building can blow away. The cars will be fine. Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm not going outside to lay in a ditch. I'm on live I'm on live internet right now. I'm good. I'm good. All right. I'm gonna go. Bye. Okay. Bye. So evidently, guys, we're completely doomed. This is like the last. This is a tornado about 8 miles up the road on the ground, coming down this street that we're on right now.
Can I just sign off, I guess?
You want to say goodbye to the world?
It's been a good run, y'all.
Yeah, there's kind of a hook echo like 5 miles that way.
Oh, 5 miles?
I don't know. I
How
don't know what
fast
the
is it going?
distance is.
Hey, the good thing is it was the edge of the square, so we got Ryan Hall on in the other room.
Yeah,
The warning's only for half an hour.
it must be moving pretty quick.
Let's see. What's on the Kathy says it's on the ground in Franklin.
Oh, well, good thing we're not in Frankfurt.
You will not sync this live stream. No, we're good. We're good. We're good. Let me tell you something. I spent years racing with Bobby Lagana. A tornado is nothing. It's nothing. Nothing. Anyways, how viral would that go? You know, everything's about content and numbers. You know what I mean? So it's like we get hit by a tornado, that shit goes viral. We're down for that. Tornadoes generally don't last more than 15 minutes or so, but that's not always the case. Well, it wouldn't take 15 minutes for it to get here. If it's in Franklin, it'll be here like it's knocking on the door right now. Jim Bennett will protect us all. Link this with Ryan Hoyle. I don't know how to do that. If you guys are in this general area, right? You know, the mid-south and the southeast, right? There's this kid, Ryan Hall. He's like this hobbyist weather man, right? The name of his channel is Ryan Hall Y'all. Okay, this kid is just fantastic. And if there's like a storm, his endurance is off the chain. If there's like a storm system, like, you know, like an event coming, that's like, let's say, a full day, like 24 hours. This kid is on for all 24 hours. Rotation in College Grove heading to the borough. Okay. So we've got a tornado right now in College Grove. There's a tornado on the ground 5 miles that way. Ryan is awesome, right? He's amazing. I give him so much credit because endurance, man. He just goes and goes and goes. Leave the camera on so we can watch the age sign. Oh yeah, if I have to duck, I'm not shutting anything off. You'll get the whole effect. Let's see. Assemble the cars in force field and take cover within. Slag hammer the jet bottle rocket, etc. That's where I'm going. If I start hearing the freight train, I'm just going to go into I'll go into Sledgehammer because that's the least amount of glass to fall on me, and it's got a roll bar. That would get views, yes. Ryan just passed 500,000 subs tonight. Oh, he deserves it. He deserves every sub. Dallas is actually in Dallas by now. Well, Dallas is he's east. He lives east of us, but his kids are home alone. Now, Kathy's got the dogs in. We have a tornado room in the house. So Kathy's got the dogs in the tornado room, so they're all safe. I'm not worried about that. But we don't really have a tornado room here. It's just safest place is Sledgehammer. Oh, I agree. That wasn't Legana. That wasn't Legana. That was Caminito. Okay, let's see. Still beats living in Brooklyn. The subway is more dangerous. It's my grandkids are way out of the zone over here. Actually, they're no, they should be fine. You have a steel frame shop, you should be fine. And you haven't seen the tornadoes we have around here and what they do to these steel shops. Are you worried about Sledgehammer's weight? She's a little heavy, although after a tornado comes through, it might be lighter. You know, that could take some metal off the car. Just Mopar Joe, hey UTG, what's going on, brother man? Did you hear about my call out on John Wilburn's live? I did not. Who did you call out? Okay. I picked Bottle Rocket. It's heavier. Yeah, but Sledgehammer has a roll bar in it, and if the building comes down on the car, you know, a little more protection. Yeah, a tornado could unpeel that kind of building. Oh, it certainly can. All right, it's starting to. I hear it's starting to get a little crazy out there. Tyson King, what engine is your B van, Tony? It's a 318. VB Max, how is Sledgehammer's stance with the motor in it? It's beautiful. It dropped 2 inches in the front with the motor in it, and it'll drop another 1.5 inches to 2 inches in the back once the fuel cell and the battery and everything else is back there. So no, the stance is perfect.
Emergency light.
Okay. So what's the story? What do we got?
Watching something else.
Why are you watching something else? You got to be watching what we're doing over here. Now is not the time for I Love Lucy. You can hear that twister here in New Zealand. It's getting loud out there. What's on the Tony? I just got a 4-valve 318 single plane intake manifold. Man, it's heavy. That's a marine intake. Extremely heavy. Okay. Making sure I got tobacco. Any sirens yet? We won't hear sirens. We won't hear sirens where we are here. We're outside. We're outside of the city. We're in Murphysboro, but we're outside of the city by about 7 or 8 miles.
I just put the Nashville stream on.
Okay. So what's it saying?
They're saying it seems pretty calm, which seems like they're not really paying attention to what's happening right here.
Wait, what?
Well, what about Ryan Hall?
He was
watching something in Kentucky.
So nobody's watching anything here?
Oh, we got another newscast up.
Okay.
I'm gonna close this door.
Let's see. John Wilburn, Jed, Scott, and Jezebel got called out by Just Mo Parjo on my channel. You, Scott, Speed Shop viewers should let Jed know what you think. Jed has a standing invitation for a rebuttal. All right. Go out and show us the weather. I'm not one of those weather people standing there, the wind going crazy. And I'll sit here in the comfort until the weather comes in here. It's on channel 5, Mopar Al. What's on channel 5? All right, I can't get a straight answer from the Junkyard Jet guys. So could somebody tell me where this freaking tornado is? Powell Berryman, that mess just blew through Loretta TN. It's a bunch of wind and rain. Well, yeah, around the tornado, it's a bunch of wind and rain, but in the tornado, it's more than just wind and rain. It gets a little hairy. That's the helmet that I was wearing when I crashed that Ninja.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, this ought to save me. So, that's a report in Almaville. It's about 10 miles north of us.
Oh, it's going through Smyrna.
Yeah, it's north.
Oh, okay.
But not much north.
No, that's enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so the tornado then here.
Yeah.
So for anybody who's curious, the tornado started
Franklin.
started just south and west of us and is now passing just north of us. So we're okay. Alice saying part of it is running along 96. Well, it's in Almaville.
Hey Tom,
Yeah.
I think the storm wall passed us. If that radar is accurate, I think the big storm wall passed us.
The storm wall has passed us. All right.
I think.
And we're still alive. Are we still alive?
I don't know.
Or
I'm
did
still-
we get taken out? And
I
this
mean,
is
I'm dead on the inside,
you.
but
Is it possible that this is the afterlife? Did we get snuffed by the
you know what?
tornado?
I'm cool with it.
It works for me. Why don't you come and sit down over here and
Should I wear this stupid
Sure.
storm protection helmet?
if you want. So
If this is my last words and my mom's watching, I apologize.
I was telling him last night. It's funny you grabbed that helmet. I was telling him last night the story. I crashed my Ninja. Tornado rotation over the borough in 5 to 10 minutes. It's going north of you. So this. I was wearing this helmet when I crashed my Ninja, and it's got a nice crack on the side.
You know, my mom told me I should probably stay home, and I was like, this isn't my first apocalypse.
Yeah, this isn't right. Neither is mine. Right? We've been through this before.
This thing's hot. I'd rather at least,
Take it. I think you'd be fine. You could put it on real quick.
yeah, it's pretty big.
I've had tornadoes pass within like a couple of 100 feet of me, and you know when the motherfucker was there.
I had one go down my street right next to us, and the only reason my house didn't get destroyed was because it was at the bottom of the hill, and that was in 2020. The best year of all time. Eventually, we're going to start working on the jet, but we got to wait for the apocalypse to end.
Mr. Willis saying, "Hey, Austin."
What's up, Mr. Will?
I found that piece. Remember I told you you're missing a brace in the front?
Yeah.
I found it and I put it over by the front of the car.
Oh, I thought you said that was just for holding on the
It'll
latch.
make it.
John,
It'll
join us.
stabilize everything.
For apocalypse stream.
That's not what Ryan Hall is saying. Okay, hang on. I got to call Kathy. Here, you take care of these guys, and
Okay.
I'll get a report on us. Here.
Well, we got 15 minutes till the warning's passed.
Okay.
Let's see. The wrench said he had one in his front yard. Yeah, I had one go right next to my house.
All right. So what's Jonathan? What's Ryan Hall saying?
That's who we had on the stream in the other room.
Well, we've been getting rain and wind here for about 5 minutes. I mean, pretty serious rain and wind here. For anybody paying attention at home, I'm 10 miles from my house. So somebody said it was on the ground in Almaville, which is north of me,
That was the weather radar.
but
News
it's
Channel
north
5.
of me. And so if it's north of me, it's
Jody
not coming to
Calhoun,
you.
thank you for the $3. We need
It's
that
going
for the
towards Smyrna.
apocalypse.
But keep an eye on it just the same. Well, if it's tracking, if it went from College Grove to Almaville, it means it's on its way up to Mount Juliet. Yeah.
New City Carpet asks us, the way you guys are talking, can I put my
All right.
super chats in escrow?
So I guess we're gonna live.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
We're probably gonna live. All right. I'm gonna get back to the live. Over the square.
Oh,
Oh,
so
that's not good.
the square of Murphysboro is about 10 miles that way.
No, it's 15, and it passed Kathy.
Oh, it did.
All right. Yeah. All right. So if there's a rotation on the square, that's not good.
It just moved. The square just shifted a few miles east of us. The leading edge of the storm is already a little bit past us.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're
Right,
past the wall, so we're
But somebody
okay.
just said there's a rotation on the square.
In Murphysboro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That could be really bad.
That could be bad.
Would you like to join the Doom stream?
I have 2 streams going right now.
I'll tell you what.
Oh,
Let's confirm that they hit on the square. If it hit on the square, we got to go up there.
hey John, can you I know this is a little bit of a cudgel. Check and see if has it touched on the square?
I don't know.
Because if it
I've
did,
got 2 different streams going in there right now.
All right,
'Cause
we'll
if
find out if it's on the square. We got to grab.
we gotta go
pinch bars, anything we can get our hands on to head up there.
go help people out.
Okay.
Because that's bad. Like Murphysboro is a college town.
Yeah.
So those of you who don't know what Murphysboro is where NTSU is. I went there 1 year. It's full of college kids from across the country, and the square is where everybody hangs out. So if it hits the square, that's not great.
Well, it's a lot of older buildings.
Yeah, a lot of pre-1920s buildings. John's checking up on that right now. He's got everything going.
All right.
But we have the equipment to help people out.
Right. So you're going to leave and put yourselves in more danger? No, SRP. If it hit a populated area, if it hit like a subdivision or it hit like the square, there's not enough emergency response people to take care of everybody. So we would run up there and do whatever we've got to do to help.
Especially not in Rutherford County.
Okay.
I've got channel 4 on. It's showing the blogs right over downtown Murphysboro.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Is there any, hey,
I haven't got enough information for you.
All right.
no, weather cameras, right?
Right.
You can patch into, there's one on the square. Just patch into the weather camera.
Yeah, guys. Sorry to interrupt our normal program. All right. Well, I'm gonna. I know it had to go past you. It had to go past you. Fox News is tracking rotation downtown Murphysboro.
So, but nothing's touched yet, I imagine. Yep.
All right. We're gonna head up there to Murphysboro. All right. Bye. No, we're gonna go to the square just in case it is a direct hit. Fox News is saying that there's According to John, Fox News says that there's rotation right now directly over the square.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Babe, there's like you realize there's only a few like emergency response things here.
Realistically,
We don't know how big.
In the time it takes to get there, everything will pass.
I know. All right,
Yeah.
babe, I don't want to argue about this. All right. Bye. Just take care of business at the house. Bye. She argues with me.
Okay. Fox News is on a commercial break. Channel 4 is on the TV.
Well, if they're on a commercial break, then that must be a lull in the action. Because surely they wouldn't care about ad revenue during severe weather broadcasting.
Well, they're just live streaming to their Facebook what the TV broadcast is.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So
Well, the thing is that it's past us.
You should wait till it hits. No, Mike. Evidently it has hit the center of town over here. Guys, listen. We're gonna end this. I'm so sorry. Right.
John, get in before it ends.
Yeah. But we got to go. So everybody contribute to Super Chat. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. You all of our regular guys. Ari, John, Zero Food Bar. Thank you so much. But we gotta go. So we'll see you on our Sunday night, our regular Sunday night live. And that's it, guys. We're out of here. Good night, all.